Hey everybody, welcome to another band discography ranking, and today I will be ranking Nirvana's albums. Yes, Nirvana. I've done one other Nirvana video in the past. I did my top 20 favorite Nirvana songs. Now I am ranking all three of their studio albums, including including a compilation album because I told myself that when I do these ranking videos, and that goes for both movies and music, that I have to when it comes to discography rankings, I have to they have to have at least four albums, and for like director rankings and whatnot, they have to have at least four films. Um, so yeah, Nirvana has three studio albums, but I am also including a compilation album, and you'll see that in a minute. Um, anyways, so I'll be ranking four albums. So this will probably be a shorter video than the other discography rankings I've done, and the other discography rankings I've done in the past. I've done the Ramones, Ween, and the Beatles. Check those out if you haven't already. Um, now I am doing Nirvana. Nirvana is one of my favorite bands of all time. They've been one of my favorite bands since I was 14 years old, and and I thought I'd do a discography ranking. And this is probably the easiest ranking I have ever done, to be honest. I think it was. So this is going to be short and easy, whatnot. This is going to be a shorter video, like I said, probably. So, all right. Keep in mind, of course, honest opinions. Like, you might be disappointed that I don't have Nevermind at number one. Spoilers, but yeah. But nonetheless, all my opinions and just my personal opinions, and also I will also be including I will also say what my favorite song is from each of these albums. So yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Okay. So coming in at number four, my least favorite Nirvana album, that is of these albums. If I was including maybe the Unplugged album, honestly, that might be my least favorite. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Unplugged album, to be honest, but the three studio albums and the compilation album. My number four happens to be the compilation album, that is Incesticide. Yeah, and I think some people might think that this is a studio album, but it actually isn't. It's a compilation that at the time it came out after Nevermind and before In Utero, and it was like featuring just like some B sides and unreleased songs and whatnot. And yeah. Now I do like this album. I like all these albums, but the reason why I have this at the bottom is because I gotta say, some of the songs on here I'm not really big into. Like, I don't care for Beeswax or Mexican Seafood very much. And even some big songs on here I'm not into, like Sliver and Been a Sun. I don't know. I just never got into those songs. But no, I do think this is a great album though. Like a really good compilation album. Um, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It is, out of all these, it is my least favorite, but it still has some great songs on here nonetheless, like Dive and Stain, and they do a cover of Turn Around by Devo, which was the B side to the Whip It single, and also two Vaseline's covers, Molly's Lips and Son of a Gun, and also a faster version of Polly, and there's Hairspray Queen, Errol Zeppelin, and Big Long Now. And my personal favorite song on this album, which happens to be my favorite Nirvana song. If you've seen my top 20 favorite Nirvana songs list, that is Aneurysm. Um, yeah. But yeah, Incesticide. The next album, I just like it better because I like more. I like the songs on there better than I do on here. But nonetheless, Incesticide is still very good. And out of all four of these albums, this might be my favorite album cover. I think it might be. I believe Kurt Cobain himself painted that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, Incesticide, that is number 4. Okay, number 3. Now, number 3, a little controversial that I have it here at number 3 and not number 1 because I think most everyone else would put this at number 1. That's right. It's their most popular album, that is Nevermind. Yeah. I mean, technically this is my least favorite Nirvana album, but not counting Incesticide. But yeah, out of the 3 it is my least favorite, mostly because I think this album is a little bit overrated, to be honest. That being said, I don't think Nirvana is an overrated band, but this album and a particular song off of this album, I think even that is even more overrated. But also I think this album was also like too overly produced. I mean, Butch Vig is a good producer, but I don't know. I kind of think he went a little bit overboard producing this album. The production on here just sounds, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe too poppy, I guess, but I don't really care for the production on this album. I think that's my biggest complaint about this album. But other than that, I like most of these songs. The only songs I'm not a fan of are Breed, Stay Away, and Smells Like Teen Spirit. Mostly just because that song has been overplayed. I can't really listen to it that much anymore. I mean, every now and again, maybe. I did listen to it whenever I was listening to this album just to see maybe if my mind would change or not about that song, but no, it's still overrated, overplayed. See, that song is overrated. Smells Like Teen Spirit. I don't think it's a bad song. I think it's pretty good, but it's just too overplayed, and for a lot of people that's the only Nirvana song that they know, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm not a fan of those tracks. Everything else though, I think is very good. Got In Bloom, Come As You Are, Lithium, Polly, Territorial Pissings, Drain You, On a Plane, Something in the Way, which was in the new Batman movie, and also Endless Nameless, the hidden track, which I don't think a lot of people like, but I actually do. And my personal favorite on here is Lounge Act. Really cool song. But yeah, Nevermind. It's good, but just not great. And also, I don't really like the order of the track listing either. It just feels kind of strange to me that like it opens with Smells Like Teen Spirit. Like the first 3 songs feel kind of weird at the first 3 because they're like 3 of the 4 biggest songs off of the album. It just feels kind of odd. Like really, this feels more like a greatest hits album if I'm going to be honest, but it doesn't really feel like an actual album to me. But yeah, it's all right. I mean, most of the songs are very good, but I do like I said, I do think it's overly produced. Production just not the best to me. I don't really like the production on this album, but yeah, Nevermind. That is my number 3. Okay, number 2. All right, my number 2 is their debut album. Yes, that is Bleach. Yeah, I really like Bleach. I think it's a really cool, like aggressive, almost like a punk album. It's really cool. It almost sounds like early Melvins in a way. And also, little known fact, the Melvins drummer Del Crover actually drums on 3 songs on here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, and just for the record, Del Crover is actually my favorite drummer of all time. Yeah, a little fact there. But yeah, but Bleach, I really like Bleach. It's really cool. Good songs on here. Blue, Floyd the Barber, About a Girl, School. Actually, that's my favorite. Is School. I actually I should have saved that for last, but School is my personal favorite on the album. Love Buzz, Paper Cuts, Negative Creep, Scoff, Mr. Mustache, Big Cheese. I'm not big into Swap Meet or Sifting and Downer. I'm not really into those songs, but everything else I think is great. Yeah, Bleach. Very good album, and it is my number 2. Would be my number 1 if it wasn't for this one. So, my number 1 favorite Nirvana album, you probably know what it is by now since I haven't mentioned it yet. That is sadly their last album, which I will say it was a pretty good way to end the band, even though it wasn't supposed to be. But my number 1 favorite Nirvana album is In Utero. Yeah, In Utero is great. In Utero is pretty much a masterpiece in my opinion. I do like the production on this album, and it's kind of ironic too because this was produced by Steve Albini, who he produced the Pixies album Surfer Rosa, which was the reason why Kurt wanted him because he was a big fan of that album. But if I'm going to be honest, and I love the Pixies, don't get me wrong, but they're one of my favorite bands. I even like them better than Nirvana actually, but I'm not a big fan of Surfer Rosa. I do not like the production on Surfer Rosa. It just, I don't know. I could barely hear it, honestly. Most of the songs on there honestly sound like shit, if I'm going to be completely honest. But no, this album sounds great though. This album sounds really good. And yeah, if Nevermind sounded like this album, I would like it a lot better. But yeah, the only song I'm not crazy about is Very Ape, but everything else I like a lot. Serve the Servants, Scentless Apprentice, Heart Shaped Box, Rape Me, Dumb, Milk It, Penny Royalty, Radio Friendly Unit Shifter, Tourette's, and All Apologies, which was an amazing way to end the album. And my personal favorite is Frances Farmer Will Have Her Revenge on Seattle. Yeah. But In Utero is a great album. It's my personal favorite Nirvana album, and I think it's their best album. It is awesome. Yeah. My number 1 favorite Nirvana album is In Utero. All right, there we go. There is my ranking for all of Nirvana's albums. A little bit longer than I expected, but still kind of short. So all right, so my next the next discography I'm gonna rank is The Doors, because The Doors have lost twice in these polls I put up for which ones I want to rank next. They first lost to the Ramones, and then they lost to Nirvana. So I am going to be working on a Doors ranking very soon. So look out for that in the future. But as for the next videos I will be doing, for Monday, I'll be putting up a new movie review and that will be for Little Women 1994. Hopefully, that is. Hopefully. If it's still on Netflix or wherever else, then yeah, it will be that. If not, then I will have to do a poll for movies I haven't seen, as long as they're streaming. But as far as I know, it will be Little Women 1994. And then for Thursday, I think it will be an album ranking, where I rank every song on an album. I'm thinking that will be I think I'm thinking about Joy Division Unknown Pleasures. Um, maybe, and if not, then something else. But that's what I'm planning on. I want to do that one. So yeah, look out for those videos. Those hopefully those two will be the next one. So yeah, yeah, look out for those. So anyways, please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell. And I'll catch you later. All right. Peace.